welcome to another episode of Easy Does It, where we react and review YouTube channels and sometimes do daily vlogs, sometimes game vlogs. This week we're going to take a look at a channel called the Paranormal Files. He's got about 1.3 million subscribers. He's located in the U.S. He's been on YouTube since March of 2015. Now, this guy's name is Colin. I've watched him a few times lately. I think I've seen about 10 of his videos, mostly his recent ones. I haven't watched really hardly any of his past ones from 4 years, 3 years, something like that. Most of them's been the most recent videos. I figured we'd check him out. He is an amateur PI. He's been doing it for a few years now. And a YouTube ghost hunter. Now, I don't know Colin in real life, but I've seen him before. I never did really watch him, but lately I've been trying to find a new paranormal channel to watch on YouTube, because most of the ones I watch end up disappointing me because they turn out to be faked some of their content, which really ticks me off, because it's like they're just doing it to get clicks and views. And I hate when they do that. It hurts those of us who are trying to really do paranormal research. I've been doing this for 20 plus years, you know. I've been at it for a long time. I'm not an expert. Nobody's an expert. You learn something new all the time when you go on investigations. You can't claim yourself as an expert. But anyways, while we're watching him, I'll go over some stuff, and then I have some good things to say about him, and then there's some things that he does that I'm not a big fan of, and a lot of PIs do it, or amateur ghost hunters. A lot on YouTube, a lot of them do it, so it's not just him. So I'm not trying to beat up on Colin. He seems like a decent dude, and I like his family from what I see on the videos, and his friend Connor, you know, but we'll get into all that. But there's some good things and some bad things, and we'll go over it as we're watching one of his latest videos. So this is the Sally House episode he did here recently.
Beautiful, but it's just got its own sort of energy. In addition, spirits that are supposed to be here.
There's something that PIs or amateur ghost hunters on YouTube do a lot that I'm not a fan of at all. One of the major things that I believe you're a fake PI if you're promoting Ouija boards, or black-eyed children, or the Slender Man, or debug boxes, because they've all been debugged 100 times. Scientific research has proven that they don't exist. They're not real. The other thing that I don't support fake PIs. The other thing I don't like is, you know, when they do the haunted dolls all the time. It's rare that an object has an attachment. It does happen, but it's rare. Most of them haunted dolls, they're fake. So don't fall for that bullshit. I do not like Zach Baggins or Ghost Adventures crew, because they've been busted 100 times for faking their content. You don't need to investigate at night all the time. You don't need an IR that's literally for ambience and clicks and shit. You can do shit during the day, and that's one of the things I like about Colin. and
It's incredible.
his family. Like, they'll investigate during the day. They just won't do it at night. And half the time they don't use IR. Every once in a while they'll use IR, but they don't. They usually don't. So that's one of the good things I like about Colin. There's only a couple other YouTube channels I really care for. I really like Paranormal Quest. They're the best of the best as far as I'm concerned, because they don't fake their shit. Like, they'll show you, you know, you don't get crap all the time. Most of these YouTube channels, they want to just bam, 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 you know, we're getting crap all the time. No, it don't work there. They could be sitting there for hours and not get nothing. And Paranormal Quest will show you that. I like Jason Hawes, but the problem with Jason Hawes' channel is that, and that's the founder of Ghost Hunters TV show, he very rarely uses any devices. Once in a great while you might see him use a paranormal device. I don't think I ever watched one of his where he does a REM pod or something, but he's done the rope, the paranormal rope. But he doesn't do spirit boxes or, you know, like obvious, the obvious. He don't do that that type of device either. He don't use apps. He just goes around, walks around, bullshits with JV all the time, you know, or that weird dude John. I'm not a fan of him. But anyways, yeah, they'll just walk around. If they catch a disembodied voice, they may show it, and that's about it. So yeah, Paranormal Quest is probably the main one I watch. Now, I do watch Project Fear once in a while, just because they're goofy, and you know, the main reason I like is because of Chelsea. I'll be honest. That chick's got guts. To sit in the dark. Most women, female paranormal investigators, they won't do it. But Chelsea will. She'll go by herself and sit in a dark area and just talk and record herself. That takes guts. You know, you're in pitch black. All you can see is what's in your camera. So I give her props for that. So I do watch them every now and then. They're okay. They're not my favorites, but they're okay. The guys too, they're all right. Little goofy, but. And then here, I've been kind of getting into Colin stuff. I've always known about him. I've just never really watched him until here lately. Like I said, I've been trying to find a new paranormal team to watch. And there's a few things I'm going to go over real quick that I don't care. I'm not a fan that he does. One of the things is he'll scream and holler sometimes when a device goes off. It's like, dude, you don't need to do that. I don't know if he does that for clicks, because like most of the time he doesn't freak out, you know, but every now and then he'll freak out and start screaming and hollering. I understand getting excited sometimes, but you don't need to do that all the time. The second thing is the way he words some of his videos, like the most haunted hotel, the most haunted asylum, blah, blah. They can't all be the most haunted. In fact, the paranormal community has all agreed the most haunted hotel in America is the Crescent Hotel in Arkansas, Eureka Springs, Arkansas. I don't even know, I haven't seen a video of him visiting the Crescent Hotel. Maybe someone could get a shout out to him, tell him, hey, you need to go check that place out. But I've seen him at the Clown Motel and the Stanley Hotel, you know, the Miss Pa, a few known haunted hotels and places, like here, the Sally House, it's fairly well known. He goes to a bunch of, I haven't investigated most of those places just because it's so expensive now. They want to gut you to just for an hour or two. The owners, it's just ridiculous to investigate. I'm not doing it. Anyways, and then the main thing that really gets me about Colin is that he'll embellish or make up a story off of one word that he gets from one of his devices. Like he got the Spirit Talker, which is an app. He uses Spirit Talker, Necromancer, Meter, and he uses spirit boxes. Obviously, he's doing the Estes method there, but they'll do that stuff. That's another thing I don't like sometimes at PIs. They're supposed to be in a completely different room, like well away from them, not right next to them. I don't like that. Anyways, yeah, he'll embellish or create this story around one word. Like there was one episode where the box said maniac, and then he just kept going on about maniac. Like, is there a maniac down the hall? Is there a maniac in that room? What'd the maniac do? Did he kill all these people? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, why are you doing that? That's the only time it said maniac. The rest of the time it was the Spirit Talkers and shit were spitting out completely different shit. But he just kept going on about maniac. He did that with some, I don't remember where they were, but the device said panties. And then he started making up this whole grape story about a woman, blah, blah, blah. And it never said anything about that. Not one time. It just mentioned panties one time. It said panties. That was it. But he does that sometimes. It really irritates me. I do not like when PIs do that. They make a story or, create this narrative or suggestion of what might have happened, but they don't know. But anyways, he does use a lot of devices. I will tell you that, like REM pods and stuff like that. He does do that. Now, he usually has Connor, which is I think is his best friend. And Connor don't bother me. He's pretty chill. I actually kind of like Connor. On a flight. Now, he says he's married. I don't know. He's never brought his wife with him. I don't know if she's just not into it or what the deal is there. We do share something in common. We're both diabetics. I don't know if he's type 1 or type 2. I'm type 2. The difference is type 1, you have to have the insulin. You have to have the medicine because your pancreas doesn't produce any insulin. Whereas type 2, it produces insulin, it just don't produce enough. Now, he's all right. Colin's okay. He does some stuff that irritates me. Connor's decent. His mom, Mary, which is the woman you see, the nice old lady he's got with him, she's okay. She don't bother me. I think she's kind of into it because he's into her son. So that's why she does it. But my favorite, actually, which I would see him do more investigations with, is Jeff. I think it's his stepdad. I don't think it's his real dad. I may be wrong, but that's Jeff right there. He calls them Mama and Papa Spooks. Now he's hilarious. I think he's fun. He's not even trying to be funny. Like one time instead of calling them goosebumps, he called them jelly bumps, and everybody's like, "What the fuck? You're an idiot." But he's funny. But he also takes it real serious. Like when he gets into investigating, he takes it pretty serious. That's why I like him being an investigator. He's really trying to figure out what's going on. I like that about him. You know, he's more steadfast. But anyways, I do like it when he brings Mama and Papa Spooks, especially Papa Spooks. I like Papa Spooks or Jeff, whichever. His mom's name's Mary. She's a nice lady. It looks anyway. It seems like it. They could all be assholes. I don't know. I don't know them in real life, but off the videos they seem pretty decent. But they usually do these sessions right here with the spirit with several like spirit talking devices, and then they'll go on and walk around stuff. Now, I don't mind. He does the same thing where he does the. You know, they'll do almost every ghost channel or paranormal channel. They'll do a brief history of the place they're investigating, which I don't mind, and go over a few of the, you know, the claims. I don't care for the interviews with all the tours and the interviews, because Colin he'll do like 30 minutes worth of that crap. I'm like, dude, you ought to put that, just some advice, if Colin's watching this, you ought to put that on a different channel or something, you know, where you can, you know, this is the interview for this place with the owner or whatever, because I just want a brief history and then get on with the investigation. Some people might like the interviews. I don't care for the tour or the interviews. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, if you're looking for a paranormal channel to watch, the Paranormal Files is decent. I haven't found anything that sets me off yet. Like I said, he does a few things I'm not a big fan of, but dude, fix the hair. I'm sorry, but that hair looks goofy as hell the way he has it. Either grow it out or cut it short. Honestly, dude, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to beat up on you, bro, but that just the hair you know, just below the ear looks goofy. Anyways, moving on. That's about don't hate me, dude. But anyways, yeah, they're all right. They're not bad. Check them out if you want. I'm not going to play the whole video because, I mean, if I could show you here, it's usually about 2 hours long almost. So I'm not going to do the whole video. I just figured I'd talk to you while I'm showing it, telling you that they're decent. They're not. He's not one of the ones that disappoint where I find out he's doing all kinds of fake content and shit. I hate that when I find out. I could mention, drop some names, but I'm not going to. Anyways, moving on. Check him out, the Paranormal Files. They're decent. I give them 2 thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.